heard you ate the cookies. Even though you don't have to be on a diet, you're already losing weight because of Dancing with the Stars.
I got to eat just to maintain. Yeah.
I know, right?
I haven't been there before.
Well, listen, John, thank you so much for joining me.
Absolutely.
I really do appreciate it. And are you having fun here at Philanthropy?
Oh, yeah, it's great. I love these people. They are unabashedly excited about whatever it is they're excited about. You know, and they show up, they dress up like their favorite character, and they ask great questions. And it's really terrific. You know, people aren't like shy about anything here.
Well, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Now, Dukes of Hazzard, that's what people know of you first and foremost. But
Depends
there's so
on
many.
how old they are.
Exactly. You got me on that one. But we're going to start with that. We're going to back up just a little bit with that. Did you ever, in your wildest dreams, could have imagined the impact that show had on so many people?
Well, you know, it was a monstrously successful show when we were doing it.
Yes.
You know, people remember back and say, oh, that was a great show, it was fun. It was a #1 show. It was top 5 it was the top 20 the whole time it was on.
Yeah.
It was top 10 for most of that and top 5 for several of those years. So we had averaged 28 million, we averaged a 28 share, 28 million people a week.
Which is huge, especially during that
it's
time.
crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, there were only 3 networks.
Well, that helped, but still, that's still huge.
So the thing that surprises me still is that it is never, it's never caught up with the times, but it's never gone out of date, which is kind of magical. I heard someone say years ago, decades ago, well, we're as hopelessly out of date today as we were when the show was first on. And that's still true today. And then if you look at it and you think, well, marketing-wise, people talk about the millennials. What are we going to do with the millennials? How are we going to sell anything to the millennials? They love the Dukes of Hazzard. And nobody's tried to sell them anything. They found it. Yeah. And bell-bottoms are gone, but millennials are watching Dukes of Hazzard.
It's
phenomenal. I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, was it the fun, the camaraderie? Because you could tell you guys were having a good time.
We had a ball. It might be it's the whole recipe. I mean, we were Robin Hood.
Yes.
We were always trying to do the right thing.
Ish.
But the bad guys, you know, when somebody crossed the line, you knew where the line was. It was like, uh-oh, so-and-so crossed, Bo, hang on. And it's nice to know where the line is.
But you guys were real, and I think that really resonated with a lot of people because it's not as if you came from a major, huge background as a character. The character was just
we live on a dirt road.
Exactly.
Which I think a big part of Dukes and Smallville is that Jonathon Kent had cows to feed.
Yeah.
We live on a dirt road. We had to walk down the end of the driveway to check the mail. Dukes of Hazzard, we had goats, we had whatever it was. We were working with our hands. We had Uncle Jesse who would kind of herd us in the way that we should go. So we were intensely dependent upon not only family, but then community.
Yeah.
And I think we want that. No matter how isolated we get with our phones and our little world, I think we want to believe that we need a best friend. We need somebody that's got our back. We need to have somebody's back in order just to be people.
Right. You want the connection.
Yeah. And Dukes exhibits the connection of that so well. Even if something, if our enemies, if Roscoe and Boss got in trouble, we'd be there to help them. Because they didn't really mean us any harm either, and we didn't mean them any harm. We were all just friends on either side of that line.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
It was great.
cool.
Great show.
Yeah, definitely. Now I'm going to switch gears and talk a little bit about Smallville. I'm going to talk a lot about Smallville because Smallville itself is just, and I was listening to some of the other interviews that you've been doing, and I love that not only was the camaraderie, because you get to see a number of your former castmates here, which is wonderful, but also just the message that Smallville sent, you being Jonathon Kent and all of that too. But tell me a little bit more about that. Why do you think it resonated as well so much with so many people and does still to this day?
Smallville managed to make Superman human, believable, so that you could say, oh, no wonder he would choose to do the right thing. No wonder he was moral. No wonder he was a good guy, not just a strong guy. Because he didn't come from Krypton moral. He came from Krypton strong. And it was up to us to do something with that. And I think that kind of is how we are with our children. We have children, we don't know what they're going to be. And they come to us clean. And they may have a tendency, they may be strong, they may be fast, they may be thin, they may be heavy, they may be what, they are something, but it's up to us to shape personality-wise what they are, hopefully some of the choices they're going to make, good and bad.
Right.
We make mistakes. But I think Smallville was remarkable in that it did that, and therefore you could believe that this young man, Clark Kent, because the audience had the secret. Jonathan and Martha didn't know this young man was going to be Superman. There wasn't any such thing. So, but the audience knew, and they wondered, how's that going to happen? Kind of when I was a kid, there was a great show called Columbo. They told you who did it. They showed you who did it. And the fun of it was watching Columbo figure out how to catch him. And I think Smallville has an element of that that's wonderful.
Well, I also like that you say it has a backstory. To me, it almost has a backstory to the backstory, because we know a little of the backstory of Superman, but you guys delved a lot deeper than most people do, and that is a true representation of not only the show, but the characters you played as well. Because to me, Jonathon Kent, there are a number of different characters or people who have played that, but you took it a little differently. Was that based on the writing, or is that just something that instinctively you felt needed to go in that direction?
The writing was wonderful. What I added to it, though, was when Miles and Al were writing the show, I can't remember which one of them had little kids. And you're more concerned about your kid's day at kindergarten than you are at your kid's day in 11th grade.
Right.
You just are. So there was a tendency for them to write it like, Clark's coming home from school, we got to ask him how his day was. And I had teenagers at that point, and I said, look, I don't care. I mean, I hope it was good, short of him getting expelled or getting in trouble or something. I have cows to feed. So my layer that I would always put, I was very touchy, which is one of the things that was never in the script.
But you were being a father. That's what fathers are supposed to do.
Well, yeah, I think so. But they had to shoot specially because of that, because now my hand is in your close-up, right? So they had to
make some adjustments.
But I look at pictures of me in Smallville, and very seldom I'm not touching somebody, and I love that. But the other thing I would do is if we're supposed to have a conversation in the kitchen when Clark gets home from school, I'd have him be there first, and I'd come in and taking off my gloves, just so I was exhibiting a life outside of his issues, and that there was something to do. And what that does is that means I'm stopping what I'm doing to have this conversation. Doesn't make this conversation any less important. It actually makes it more important, because I'm stopping. But they see that, and they say, oh my God, he loved his son so much, he stopped whatever it was he was doing.
You were present in his life as that character.
But you have to show that you're coming from somewhere. I mean, it sounds like such a simple. We're on a set.
Yeah.
So I'd worked on a show years ago where they didn't do any of that, and I thought it was wrong. So one of the lessons, most important lessons you get, are not what to do, but what to. I'm so tired.
I know you
not
are.
what
You're
to
doing
do,
great
but
now.
what not to do.
Right.
And then, as a director, I directed on Smallville too. As a director, then you take those little things of what not to do and you do something else. And I think there's a reality to the films that Alicia and I do out of, even though they're fantastic situations as well, there's a reality to them. I think because of what I learned not to do and what I've replaced that with.
Right. Now, speaking of the word not, have-nots.
Hey,
yeah,
nice.
I got to bring that in, just kind of segue into that.
Good.
With Tyler Perry's show, you have been on there how many seasons now?
I think the
second?
sixth. Oh no.
No, second, sixth. Sorry.
I think six. I think that's what's running right now.
Right now, gotcha. Okay.
6. Yeah, we shot way ahead.
Oh, gotcha.
So
okay.
I'm not sure if it's 5 or 6 that's airing right now, but I believe we've done 6.
Okay. And how's that going? How is that going?
It's great.
Love it.
It's fantastic.
And the role that you play, sir, explain that to the audience who, I don't know why they haven't seen it, but I know some haven't.
Some have and some have not.
But bump.
I'm a judge who ran for governor and who lost his. I didn't lose the race, but I had to pull out because I was trying to protect my son, who had accidentally killed someone. And then there were people that came in that thought that was wrong, so I had to kill
Do
them.
Some things, yeah.
Have them killed, rather.
Yeah.
It's different,
Yeah.
So I play. What I like to say is my Jim Cryer character makes J.R. Ewing look like a choir boy.
And oh, does he ever?
Yeah.
But you do it so well.
Thank you.
Really is
Thank
impressive.
you. I don't know where that comes from because Tyler writes all of it, and he'll say, "Oh, you're bad. You're a bad." I said, "You wrote it." He said, "I didn't write that. I might have written a couple of those words, but that's not what I thought they meant." Like, okay. So it's great. It's he's wonderful. It's such an amazing thing to watch.
Yeah.
Because the haves and have-nots came along. The dream had been going for a long time before the haves and have-nots happened, but to be part of that dream and to watch it just grow, because this man, he works so hard.
Yeah.
And I was talking to somebody about this the other day. Most people think you need to, most people start to cut back, and they think, well, we'll be able to get more things because we're cutting back. We won't spend as much money. But Tyler, it's all about excellence.
Yeah.
Whether it's a camera or a light or a lawnmower or a coffee pot,
Yeah.
it's going to be the best lawnmower, coffee pot, camera, light
Most certainly.
anywhere.
Most certainly.
And he's going to have several of them because even though they're the best, one might break down, and it costs more money. It costs less money to buy two of something and have one on standby than it does to have to rush and go find one when one broke.
Oh man, that's so true.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Great.
But I see it in every department and everything that he does, and it's wonderful.
Now I have a couple more questions for you, music-wise. Anything new coming out? Because for
I have
fans,
a song out every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday. That's
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Called
okay.
the Odyssey. Yep.
Okay.
So the Odyssey project is initially it was 52 songs, but then someone had actually recorded 53 songs and got in the Guinness Book of World Records. So I didn't want to be that close and not jump
Of
at that,
course.
right?
Of course.
So we did 52 songs, and then we went back and re-recorded the 10 of the songs on my greatest hits album from the 80s.
Oh my goodness.
So 62 songs
That's
we're going to
great.
release in 2018, and we have released a song every Tuesday so far.
I love that. You've got to keep us posted every single time, which you do every single Tuesday. I love
Yep.
that.
And
love that.
we're doing 52 videos. We've done 30 of them. So it's really something. You want to know more about it, go to John Schneider Studios, either johnschneiderstudios.com or John Schneider Studios on Facebook.
Now, how are you going to
get a hold of it?
How are you going to continue to do this with? I would be remiss if I didn't mention Dancing with the Stars.
Well, I'm
Mr.
hoping Dancing with the Stars is going to actually really bring my music up to the forefront.
it will.
Because a couple of the songs I'm going to be dancing to will be mine.
You're kidding.
Should I make it that far? And that's why
No,
I really
you're
want to make
going
it that
to.
far.
You're going
Yeah.
to.
So
Yes.
that's exciting to me.
Oh my gosh. So
Yeah.
who's your partner once again?
Emma.
Emma. Okay. Which was
Emma-
announced, of
Emma
course,
Slater.
just recently.
Emma
Yes.
Slater.
And you had to delay our interview because you were practicing already this morning, and your
Yes,
body's
this
killing
morning.
you, isn't it?
God. So my day. So we rehearsed yesterday, and
Yes.
I think we were in Tennessee. And I got on a plane, and I was doing an independent film. Got on a plane last night, flew here, met Emma at 8 o'clock this morning, danced until 10:30, came here. I'll do this autograph and hi and all that,
Yeah.
all stuff today. And then as soon as I'm done here at, I think, 6 or 6:30, I go back to another rehearsal hall and rehearse for
gosh.
another 2 hours.
How are you
and
walking?
then eat dinner. I don't know. I don't know.
gosh.
I'm tired. But you won't know it on Dancing with the Stars. Actually, those days are going to be easy because
Yes.
I'll be in LA, and all we'll have to do is live television in front of 40 million people that day.
Oh, that's all.
Well, compared to this other stuff,
it's going to be a breeze.
and I think that's going to be my one of my edges against my competition. Is that I'm totally used to live television.
Yeah, you are.
It's got no teeth in it for me.
I know.
I'm ready. So
One final question
Yes.
for you, because this is something really passionate to me, about me. Well, my show is about giving back too. Everybody
Excellent.
has to talk about something important, giving back, and I remember Children's Miracle Network.
yeah.
And to me, that is just one of the pinnacles out there. Also being that I'm a pageant girl too, through the Miss America system, so I
tremendous.
know all about this too.
Oh, good.
But Children's Miracle Network, which you co-founded, I just want you to explain to people just briefly about this, because it truly is an amazing, amazing accomplishment which you guys have done all of these years and continue to do.
35 years. Children's Miracle Network is 35 years old and founded on a couple of very simple principles, but no one had done it before, and I still think no one's tried to copy it. I think they're afraid. So number one, we raise money for children regardless of what they have. So we're not for spina bifida, we're not for muscular dystrophy, we're not for pediatric AIDS, we're not for this, that, we're for it all, everything.
Yes.
Because we raise money, it goes to your local children's hospital. Everything that's raised locally stays locally, doesn't go somewhere else and then someone decides where it will be divvied up. It stays locally.
Yeah.
So you can have pride in your area, pride in your neighborhood, and pride in your hospital. The other thing is that 100% of whatever you give goes to the hospital.
Yeah.
Not 98, not 97, 100% of it. So those are the three things, and because of that, about 15 years in, we've been doing it for 35 years now. About 15 years in, we became the #1 children's charity in the world, and we still are. We raised $360 million last year. Our goal is to eventually raise $1 billion a year, which I'm sure that we're going to be able to do.
Yeah.
So it's a great way to help hospitals and those people in them help their communities.
What would you tell people to encourage them to try to give back, whether it's the Children's Miracle Network or do something on their own?
Well, you've got to give back. You've got to, if you have anything, then it's been given to you. It's hard to put it into words, but I think that we are here. If I know I'm here to help you build your house, then someone will help me build mine.
Exactly.
So it's not about me and my circumstance. It's about trying to help someone else's circumstance in little tiny bits or big bits. Tyler Perry, all these people have jobs at Tyler Perry Studios. It's great. And he gets a great benefit from helping all these people, right? But he's not doing it for Tyler Perry. You shouldn't do it for John Schneider. You should do it. I want to employ a lot of people. There was a wonderful scene in Schindler's List where Liam Neeson said, well, I wish if I'd only thought I could have saved 2 more people if I'd have given up my watch. That's what we're supposed to do. And if we are actively engaged in that, then I believe we have to believe that someone else will be watching our back.
Exactly. And that's a perfect note to end on. Thank you so much, John
You're
Schneider.
very
I
welcome.
appreciate it. And what is your dance name going to be, so we can tell people they need to vote?
I believe it's SuperDuke.
SuperDuke.
We're incorporating Smallville and Dukes of Hazzard in the same thing.
SuperDuke. Vote for him on Dancing with
That's
the
right.
Stars, because he's going to be there for the long haul.
You
Yes?
bet. You bet.
Yes?
Absolutely.
All right.
Look, I've got to use my hand to uncross my
You're
leg.
already in pain. But it's going to be worth it, because we know you're going to do a great job. Thank you so much
My
again.
pleasure.
I really appreciate
You're
it.
wonderful.
And all the best.
I
Thank
appreciate
you.
that.
All
You're
right.
great.
Oh, thank you. Bye
Bye.
guys.